In the late hours of a night shift at a factory in Detroit, Chris, a maintenance worker, was assigned to check the old, abandoned parts of the factory floor. The area had been shut down for years and was never used except for storage. One evening, as he passed through the long, narrow hallways, he started hearing faint whispers that seemed to come from the walls. He froze, listening, but it was dead silent. Thinking he was hearing things, he continued his work. As he entered the storage area, he felt a cold gust of wind rush past him. He turned around but saw nothing. But then, out of the corner of his eye, he saw what looked like a shadow darting across the far side of the room. Feeling uneasy, Chris grabbed his flashlight and approached the shadow. He heard the whispers again, but louder this time, as though a voice was calling his name. Panic gripped him as he turned and sprinted out of the area. The next day, a co-worker mentioned that the factory had a dark history. Several workers had died in accidents there, and some even claimed to have seen strange figures moving about in the night. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that what he experienced was connected to those tragic events. Jenny, a night shift officer at a small police station in a rural town, had always been skeptical about the paranormal. But her experiences one particular night would change her mind forever. She was working alone in the station, the silence broken only by the occasional radio static. It was around 3 a.m. when the station's phone rang, its harsh, sudden sound slicing through the quiet. Jenny answered, expecting to hear a routine call, but instead, she heard heavy breathing on the other end. Thinking it was a prank call, she hung up. Moments later, the phone rang again. This time, the voice on the other end was differenter, whispering raspy voice asking, "Are you alone?" Jenny felt a chill run down her spine, but she dismissed it as an attempt to scare her. She checked the station's security cameras, which were all functioning normally. Then, the lights in the building began flickering. As she approached the light switch, she heard something that made her blood run colder. Soft, slow tapping on the glass window of her office. Turning, she saw nothing outside, but the tapping continued, growing louder and faster. She checked the camera footage again and saw a figure, blurry and distorted, standing outside her window. Jenny later learned that the police station had been built on the site of an old cemetery, and the land was rumored to be haunted by restless spirits of those who had been buried there. Mike worked the night shift at a 24-hour truck stop along a remote highway in Nevada. He was used to the lonely hours, with only the occasional trucker stopping for fuel or food. One night, after dealing with a rowdy group of truckers, Mike decided to take a break and use the restroom. The truck stop's bathroom was dimly lit, and as Mike stood at the sink washing his hands, he felt an overwhelming sense of unease. Something about the room felt off. When he glanced into the mirror, he thought he saw a figure standing behind him, but when he turned around, the room was empty. Shrugging it off, he continued washing his hands, but when he looked back into the mirror, the figure was there again, this time much clearer. It was a man, tall and thin, with dark, hollow eyes. Mike spun around, but no one was there. Shaken, he quickly left the restroom, only to see the figure again, standing in the reflection of the bathroom door as he walked away. Mike spoke to a fellow worker about the incident, and to his surprise, the worker revealed that other night shift employees had experienced similar encounters in that very restroom. They later found out that the truck stop had been built on land, where several accidents had occurred over the years. The restless spirits of those lost in tragic accidents seemed to have found a home in the truck stop's bathroom, forever haunting those who dared to use it late at night.